And my mom's very, very stubborn, so she had that influence. And he was a Clinton supporter. And everything I told him about the mainstream media and how biased it was, because I used to work for CNN, like what you're talking about, how the news reporters, how the news editors can spin everything and all stuff. I worked at the desk in CNN in the bureau in San Francisco under John McManus and Greg Lefebvre and Rusty Joyner and all those people there, right? And I saw, you know, because I was help picking, and I saw, you know, what they chose to get on there and whatnot, and I saw that kind of spin. So here's Paul, who was a Clinton supporter, and against Obama, he saw basically how they treated the Clinton supporters, the Pumas and people like that, and he saw how biased it was. And when he saw that, boom, his eyes lit up, and he started to get a little awakening, like the cave opening, right, of Plato and that whole thing, right? And so then he was more open to listening. So I said, you need to listen to Rush. You know, just a little bit. You know, just hear this, and then he started liking it and enjoying it. And he started looking at more. And that's what I always say. If anyone is intelligent and educated, or even just intelligent and open-minded, you give me 30 minutes or an hour, and I will change your mind. I will make you a conservative, because I know that's the right way. And that's the way that I am too. I will listen to anybody, left, right, center. If you have a better argument, I just want the right solution. If you have a better argument, I'll change my mind on that. But I don't think you do. That's where I come from, right? Because I believe in freedom. I believe in liberty. I believe in what this country is doing. I mean, think about this for a second. We are looking to change radically and destroy the beautiful experiment that is America. Never in the history of the world have we seen a country that has done more and fed more people, made more people rich, had more inventions, had more progress, had more freedom ever in 230 some odd plus years. And now we want to destroy it. There's nothing sacred or holy or special about this land. I mean, I know Utah may have a little bit of a different vibe on that, but it's our system. It's our system of freedom. It's capitalism. It's our Bill of Rights. It's our ability to attract talent from global sources, and this engine that says, hey, Jack, if you work hard and you get educated and you do your thing, you play by the rules, you can be exceptional, and you can make money, and you can have a good life. Well, we're changing that now with all this debt, with all this internationalism, with this crony capitalism. That's not pure capitalism. Capitalism didn't fail. Crony capitalism failed. We have a system now where, you know, some people can't lose and the rest of us can't win. I mean, I have no problem with bankers on Wall Street, who I know a lot of them, who make $1 billion bonuses or have this house in the Hamptons, whatever like that, if they do a good job. As long as they also face the music when they fail. I don't believe in this too big to fail. Well, we need a bank. He says, you know what? The government could have put out those loans for themselves. We could have had other banks step up. Go ahead. I know you want to say something.
Well, with the recent G20 meeting in Pittsburgh, by their own public announcement, 20% of the corporations in America own 80% of all of the profit.
That's scary.
Well, it is. And what are they going to defend when it comes to the bottom line? So you see pensions disappearing, yep. You see lifetime savings, 401ks. The stock market right now, artificially inflated, yep. Because it has followed the exact graph of growth that the money that the Fed has cut loose to put into the market.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, it just reflects that. In gold now, record over 1,050. I just checked it here a few moments ago. Over 1,050, which means nothing except its reflection of the loss of value of the dollar.
Correct.
The value of gold only means what the dollar is or is not worth.
That's right.
And so you look at the bond rates, you look at the T-bills, and China continues to buy them. China continues to buy our debt. Japan continues to buy our debt. But they're sitting on the edge of, I mean, I think this is one of the reasons why Hillary was over there recently. Please, please, please don't stop buying our debt.
Absolutely.
We're at a point now where every Monday morning that I come in here,
yeah.
Every Monday morning I'm coming in here expecting this is the week.
Right.
This is the week. This is the week. It's all going to go to hell in a handbasket. Hyperinflation or deflationary spiral. Mm-hmm. By Christmas time, it'll turn around to an inflationary and the printing presses. The printing presses, whether it's Denver, whether it's Philadelphia, whether it's Washington D.C., are printing money so fast now they've turned off the air conditioners because the paper flying off the printing presses is creating all of the wind that's necessary to keep the employees cool.
Wow. Hey, what it's scary. We don't want to be like Zaire, where you need $100 million literally to go buy a loaf of bread. I mean, it's out of control. Government is not the solution here. It is the problem. I'm not saying we don't need some government, but it's gotten out of control. Name me a year that government has actually shrank. We haven't seen any serious cuts since maybe Reagan. I mean, the Republicans are like, Democrat light. The Democrats want to increase government by 5% a year. Republicans want to do it by 2% a year. But the bottom line is it keeps growing, and it crowds out the energy and the capital and the freedom of the private sector. This is dangerous. We need people that are going to get in there and actually really put a halt to this growing, exploding debt and this monstrosity of a government and bureaucracy that isn't really helping people out. I mean, look. Obama was Mr. Hope and Change and the great savior and the whole thing. What has he done? What serious progress or accomplishments of any real note has he done in the 9 months since he's got in there? And he's had total control with the Democrats of all of Congress. They could do whatever they want to do. They've done nothing but spend money.
Saturday Night Live did a nice little thing on that the other night.
It was great.
Yeah. What have I done? Well, it kind of boils down to Jack and Squat. Yeah. And well, see, they kind of promoted him at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people have promoted him at the beginning.
Yeah.
I've had I forget his name right now, but a black preacher from Harlem.
Oh yeah.
Was on my show here not too long ago.
Oh, that James guy, the with that one special church, the guy. I know what you're. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he was on my show here not too long ago, and he says anybody in the black community who knows up from down and in from out is starting to hang their head in embarrassment.
Thank you.
Starting to hang their head in embarrassment because of what they put into office. And they understand this guy is a front for Wall Street.
Yeah.
That's who he took care of. That's who he's protecting. The whole idea behind his health care bill is to make sure that everybody in the United States is buying on a monthly basis, with the penalty of prison, a health insurance policy.
Right.
And it's not to take care of...
Preferably from the government.
Well, it's not to take... Well, who's going to say... The private interest, the private insurance companies will be the ones who will be selling the government its insurance policy, because that's the dynamic. They want everybody in the country insured so that they can get their little piece of the pie. It's one of the largest lobbying groups in Washington next to petroleum and the pharmaceutical industry. The pharmaceutical industry is going to make money like they've never made it before.
You got it.
The insurance companies, with everybody being insured with threat of imprisonment if you're not insured.
Exactly.
And that happens this week. Tomorrow night or Wednesday night, a prototype of that bill will be signed and put into motion for probably July of next year. We've got some more people calling in I want to get to here in a second. But well, and you have to understand, you have to back off far enough to understand that the enemy is the international financial system. That's what's behind all of this stuff. They want every income stream under their control.
Right.
Whether it's political, social, religious, whatever else. And on a lower, lesser level, you have the functionaries of the UN, you have whatever international groups that are out there that seem to be enemies of the U.S. Constitution, the dream of America, that captures the attention of people, not realizing this hulking monster that sits behind them, that is bankrupt, that is absolutely, totally bankrupt, and has no way of getting out of the hole that it's in. And this is the beauty of America.
Yeah.
This is the thing that America can do that no other country can do, because they're of a parliamentary nature, and the parliament of these governments are completely controlled by the national banking systems that are inside of these governments, and they cannot separate themselves from that. In our Constitution, the federal government is empowered to grant the credit behind the financial monetary system of America that no other government has. And all that this country needs to do is turn to the Fed and say, we are putting you into involuntary bankruptcy.
Right.
You say the same thing to Deutsche Bank. You say the same thing to the Bank of England and anybody else that has their tentacles over here. And you turn back to the government the way it originally was first established, where the government itself becomes the controller of the Treasury rather than this private banking system.
That's what happened.
Exactly. And unless that is addressed, I honestly believe there is no hope no hope for this country, because all the other ideals, people sitting there waiting for Sarah Palin to make her big move, or Mitt Romney to make his big move, or John McCain to decide which one he's going to support, or people sitting back saying, well, you know, this is the time to run for office if I'm going to be a conservative, because there's going to be a huge conservative backlash in 2010. Those things, again, like the old proverbial rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic, the real issue that must be taken care of is the return of sovereign control of the financial aspects of America and what America means. Because as long as it's left in control of Wall Street and it's left in control of the international bankers and their pitch man is in the White House following every one of their directives, we don't have a prayer.
It is absolutely scary. There's no question about it. I mean, when you talk about Obama and people ask, like, you know, what's he about, whatever. I went to school with guys like Obama. I have professors that are guys like Obama. I mean, particularly in law school.
All college professors.
Oh yeah.
I hate to be so petty in saying they're all that way, but they support global warming, and they support the new international picture. We got to take a break, Ryan. As soon as we're back, we'll get you on the air.
Information you need to know about the government's bailout of credit card companies.
And you put in new media.
Conservative media.
Conservative new media.